Hi everyone, welcome to a new edition of JAMSPREAD. With me here is Roo Panes. How are you today, Roo?
Very well, thank you very much.
You're here in Munich. Have you played in Munich before?
No, I haven't. This is my first time.
You excited?
Yeah, I am very excited, yeah.
Good.
This tour's been great, so every night's been exciting.
I saw your Instagram that you were jamming away on the train from, I think, Hamburg to Hanover.
Yeah.
Do you do that often? Did you do that on your way to Munich as well?
No, not on the way to Munich, is you have to find a compartment, and compartments, like everyone gets the compartments. It's like a kind of race for the compartments. But on that train, we did get like a compartment to ourselves. And so yeah, when we have a compartment, then yeah, it's fun to jam. You know, you sometimes have quite long journeys and stuff, and so yeah, it's a good way to pass the time.
Did anybody complain, or were just dancing, singing away with you?
No, no one complained actually. I kind of thought that they might, but then I did. I was on a train in Holland, like maybe it was my last time in Germany, and I was doing that, and someone came in and sat down and just listened, and I was like, okay, this is nice. So like sometimes it's the opposite. It's actually quite nice. Like people will come in and.
It's a good way to connect with people just spontaneously.
Maybe we didn't actually talk. I just carried on playing, and they just kind of watched. But yeah, like I don't know. But with two people, we're being a bit louder, so I thought maybe some people might. But
you have released 2 albums so far.
Yeah.
Little Giants in 2014, I think, and Paperweights last year. It was last year. Yeah. Is it true that the second album is always the hardest one to write?
Well, I don't know. I wrote it quite quickly. I kind of writing. I love. I don't really. My approach to writing, I think, is quite like a natural approach. I don't try and force anything. Mm-hmm. So you know, there's a chance that like that means that I might not make the best music, but I kind of don't want to stress out about it and try and make sure that it's all like perfect. I just want to enjoy writing music, and so like second album actually came quite fast. I had some of it already, I think, when I was writing Little Giant. Okay. Like probably 4 or 5 songs of Paperweights, I reckon, were already starting to be written in my mind, like when I was recording the first album. So yeah, it's kind of sometimes songs have been around for a while, and then you're kind of working on them in your mind, and then yeah, when the time comes for you to actually do an album, then you're like, oh, okay, yeah, I feel like that one it should be brought forward.
Are the songs you write quickly better than the ones that need a longer process, or is there any qualitative difference?
I don't really know. I think that the songs that come quickly are sometimes really glued together. There's something about them that like feels like they are 100% cohesive, and so sometimes they're my favorite, but they're not necessarily the best songs. I mean, like one song, Little Giant, the actual first album, that was one of those songs, but it's only like a 2-chord song, so it's not exactly a technical piece of writing, but that doesn't really matter to me. Like sometimes I like technical stuff, but sometimes I really like simplicity. And so for me, that song really held together as like a moment in time for me. But I guess it's really subjective as to what you think like a good song is.
When your song, the original, you kind of deviate from this, me narrative that we hear so often. So you don't address somebody directly; you just describe somebody from like a distance. Does this approach kind of give you another sort of liberty as a songwriter?
Yeah, maybe. There's different approaches to like lyrical writing. I guess like that song for me is a bit different to some of my other like ways of writing. It's much more like I was observing a situation or a person and writing about it like a narrative. That's just another way. I don't know if it like. Yeah, in a way, it's kind of like storytelling and like observing, but that's kind of also like what I've been doing, even though, often I do it in a conversational way. Like, it doesn't feel like a massive departure, but at the same time, I guess it's an avenue that I've thought about a bit more, like in terms of writing other people's like stories as well and perceptions of them and stuff. And but I kind of don't start like that. I just kind of go with what comes out at the time. So that was like just a natural occurrence. So
you didn't actively choose, it just happened.
Yeah, and hopefully the next thing that's worth writing will be the same. Like something will just come up and be like, okay, yeah, it's worth doing.
You write, behind the painted lady, she's a masterpiece, but she doesn't care to think so. No, she hasn't got belief. Do you feel that as a society we seek to kind of hide our lack of confidence behind ever brighter and colorful masks, or what is the real meaning of the song?
Well, for me, like it was often a song is about more than just one thing. For me, it's like a combination of a bunch of things, like a bunch of impressions and stuff. For me, the idea of there being an original you is like the idea that really, like, I wonder sometimes whether actually we are often trying to escape innocence. We're often trying to escape our youthful innocence, you know, and the world is kind of building up and we all want to be this or that, and actually we just become more and more guarded and more disguised as life goes on. And there's just a number of times in life where I've just like always wanted to say to someone who I'm talking to, like, don't change, like you're so great, just don't fall for that. But it's something that happens to like everyone, is that everyone has this concept that they need to develop and be like, you know, this and that, and I think often people end up feeling quite lost because they don't accept that kind of part of them that's actually really beautiful, because, you know, life can kind of tease it out of you or you know, make you feel like it's something to leave behind. And so that song is kind of all about like, take me back to the original you know, and also the original me, because it's, you know, it's not, I'm not talking from like the top down. I'm observing in human nature how we do that sometimes, and so
you sort of adapt, but you kind of lose your like real you in the process.
Yeah. And I think that everyone is unique by nature, and it's a really awesome thing that everyone's like made unique, and that's what I think anyway. And I think that we have a tendency to become uniform. Like we're unique, but we all end up looking around and thinking, okay, so this is what it's got to be like. And I think that's quite sad. So it's kind of about just trying to empower people to remember their uniqueness. And yeah.
Okay. Last question, it's a rather random one. But is it true that as a kid you were conflicted about whether Wolfgang Amadeus Mozart would like look at you and tell you to go and play his music or go play your own? I sort of picked it up. I think on your official page, or I don't know. It's a funny bit, really.
Yeah, I guess that yeah. When I remember being asked that or saying that. Like I think yeah. I guess I do wonder that. Yeah. You know, it's kind of, I think that creating music is so much fun that I wonder sometimes whether we get so stuck in trying to emulate what we see around us that, you know, we miss actually the fact that like maybe you can create something different, something really beautiful. And I wonder whether someone as creative as someone like Mozart or like an amazing composer would kind of also say that. I don't know.
Well, you're all set. Thanks so much for the interview.
You're very welcome.
Have fun today on stage in Munich.
Thank you.
And good luck on your tour, and like Berlin tomorrow and Australia next month.
Yeah.
Exciting. Okay.
Yeah.
Best of luck.
Thank you very much.
Thanks, Roo. Cheers.
You're welcome.
Well, I've been everywhere, but I've been nowhere. It was all the Indian in the middle.